Hello, fellow literary luminaries. I am Ryan, and I am here to finally make a video I have been waiting to make all day because I was waiting for the last part of it to come in the mail. And it's 3:30 now where I am recording, and I literally have been waiting for like 2 days now. Shipping is slow. But anyway, this is my TBR for the BookTubeAthon, which starts, I think I should check that. It starts at some point, and I have not looked that up well enough. Now that I have checked it, the BookTubeAthon is a week-long reading marathon from August 3rd until August 9th. And since I'm new to BookTube, I decided I was going to try it. And besides, the challenges looked really, really interesting. So there's seven challenges that you can do. And I'm going to show you each book that I am doing for them. So, challenge number 1 is read a book with blue on the cover. And mine for that is going to be... Just knocked things off my desk. Whoops. Highs in the Low 50s by Marion Winnick. Now, I have had this book probably for 2 years now? 2.5 years. I met the author at a residency for my graduate school, and in fact, the reason I just checked in the book is because it is actually signed, and I got it in 2014. So, this is creative nonfiction? Yeah. This is creative nonfiction about I'm shaking my desk, about the author's life, and I've had it for way too long. It's in a long list of books that I've had way too long that I got from residencies, and so since it has blue all over the cover, I figured this was a perfect one for this particular challenge. Challenge number 2 is to read a book whose author's last name shares the same first letter of your last name. So, for instance, my last name is Frey. Thus, I need an author whose last name also starts with F. And since I've been seeing it a lot lately, and it is actually floating around somewhere on my TBR, this is the book I was waiting for because I picked up Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I heard about this around the time that I started hearing about the movie, and everyone was talking about it, and I've heard really, really good things about it, so I'm going to try and get through this one. Granted, it is a little bit of a longer book, and the text is tiny, but I do want to try and get through this because it really looks interesting. The trailers for the movie looked really interesting. I haven't seen the movie. I don't really know a ton about it because I don't remember the trailer all that well. I just remember thinking it looked really interesting, so I'm excited to read this book. Also, I had to order this because I did not have any books on my entire shelf with authors with the last name of F. None. I think I have one on my Nook, which I forgot about. But anyway, this book, yay! The next challenge is to read someone else's favorite book. Now, after being on BookTube for a while and asking several of my friends, this book was a really, really obvious choice. Ready Player One by, Ernest Cline? Yes, Ernest Cline. I have seen this book talked about more on BookTube than almost any other book. And a bunch of my friends have recommended it to me, and a bunch of people I barely know have recommended it to me, and it just keeps showing up in my life. And I bought it a while ago at the request of an old friend of mine, and it just has been sitting on my shelf and hasn't been read. So, since this is the favorite book, I believe the one I'm technically pulling on is my good friend on Twitter of Casey Case Rose, I'm going to read this book. And I'm really excited about it because it sounds really cool and I've heard really good things about it, so yes. The next challenge is the last book that you acquired. Now the problem is, I acquired 3 books recently, all for review, and I've read them all already. Whoops. So instead, I'm going to use one of the most recent books that I've acquired, which is Linger by Maggie Stiefvater. I was given... No. I bought the first book in this series at the request of a very, very longtime good friend of mine, and I enjoyed it, but she couldn't find copies of the next 2 books in the series, so I went to a local bookstore a while ago and I found this along with some other books that I wanted. And I know it's probably going to be a quick read. Shiver was a quick read for me, so it should be a short read, so it's perfect for a week-long book marathon. And I don't know, it's not the most complex plot, but I don't know, I had fun with it. I'm interested to see where the story goes. And it's only like the second book of Maggie Stiefvater's I've read, and she's one of the best friend that recommended it to me. She's one of her favorite authors. So I'm excited to read this. Yay. I'm bad at ending these things. The next challenge is to read a book without putting it down. Whole book, you're not allowed to let go of it. If you need to go somewhere, you have to have it in your hand. You cannot put this book down until you are finished with it. So the book that I chose is another one that's been sitting on my shelf for a while. This one has been here, there's no date on this one. I still think it's probably been here for probably 2.5 years now or so. And that is Small Apartments by Chris Millis. This is another one where I met the author at my residency. You may find that a lot when I say books that I need to read, because I buy books. I'm a writing student. But this is super duper short. He wrote it in like 3 days, 2 days. It was a challenge. 3-day novel contest. It's been made into a movie. This is obviously the movie covered. I own the movie as well, and I haven't watched it because I'm really bad at stuff. So this should be an easy one to get through all in one sitting without ever setting it down, and is another book that I desperately need to read. So it made perfect sense, and I'm really excited to read this. It looks like a lot of fun. I've seen the trailer for the movie. It sounds hysterical. Just look at that cover. The next challenge is to read a book that you really want to read. Now, the nice thing is most of the books I've held up so far could fit that challenge, but I've picked one specifically for this one, which also could serve for the blue on the cover, but in any event, this is a book that I actually started reading a while ago while I was bored and waiting for a friend to do something, but I never got around to finishing it, so I'm just going to start it all over from scratch, and that is Snow Crash by Neal Stephenson. Yes, I have not read this yet. I'm sorry. I'm a terrible failure at books. Trust me, if you knew all the books I hadn't read yet, you would definitely think I was a failure at books. This is a lot of fun. From what I remember of it, it's a really interesting concept, really interesting plot. The main character's name is Hero Protagonist. You all saw my last video. I love sarcastic humor and wittiness and silliness, and everything about this book just sounds fantastic. And it's I guess sort of cyberpunk in a way, but it's really sort of one of the first of its genre, I think. Everyone's been telling me I need to read it, so now I'm finally going to. And I know that I can get through even though it is a little bit of a thicker book, I know that I can get through it pretty quickly because I got through a huge chunk of it the last time I read it in like one day. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal. And the last challenge is to read 7 books throughout the course of the week. Granted, I only have 6 in the pile, so I had to pick up another one, which was also, 1, mentioned as a favorite book by some of my friends, and 2, one that I have seen so many times on BookTube, and was sent to me by the aforementioned best friend. So that book is going to be The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I really don't know anything about this book at all. The back says, "The circus arrives without warning," and that's how it starts, and that just sounds really fascinating. So I'm going to read this as my 7th book, and I'm going to really, really, really try to get through all 7 of them. It may be a bit difficult because I know at the end of the week I'm traveling, and I'm leaving really early in the morning, so I'm going to be tired. But I'm going to try. It's a really long car ride that I'm going on. I'm going to try and get some books done, and it should be fun. I'm not going to say so. I say so way too many times. This is what the cool kids do, right? They hold all their books up in a pile like a real booktuber. Ah! Am I official now? So, This is my TBR for the BookTubeAthon. I'm really excited to give this a shot my first year. It should be tons of fun. And as I said, I've got a whole amount of time that's going to be in a car that I can dedicate to reading. So if I get occupied this week, which I probably will, since I got a call just as I started recording, potentially for a job interview, which would be really cool because I have no job. Yay! So, are you guys doing the BookTubeAthon? Let me know. Tell me what your TBR is down in the comments below. I would love to hear from all of you. I don't know if I'm going to be doing the video challenges, which I guess are going up. I also don't know if I'm going to be doing my regular videos throughout the week. Again, my schedule's a little up in the air, and I'm going to be gone for the last couple days of it, so obviously I won't be able to do videos on those days unless I record from the car. Or from the festival I'm going to. If you really want to see tipsy booktubing, I can try that. I'm going to a wine festival up in New York. So anyway, that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And you will see more fabulous content from my ridiculous face or something. So, until next time, keep reading and stay sharp. That's awesome. Aw. I just got a retweet from the author of the book that I just did the review of on Twitter. That makes me so happy. Let's see. Dear Ariel, where is your... This is creative nonfiction about the author's life. I'm putting that on silent. Or I'm gonna get a call. That works too. Hello? Thank you. Bye-bye. Job things. Job things are exciting. This is something that'll be good for a week long. Am I a big kid yet? Oh my god, why can't I stack these books? Okay. Books stacked. Lift! Everything is gonna fall. Does this take practice? It must take practice. Yes, UPS wants to tell me that I got my package. I'm aware of the fact that I got my package. You're going on silent now until I'm done with my video.